Okay, I think I am live. This is always the nerve-wracking moment to see if this is working. Let me see. Am I there? I have no idea. Is this working? Nee. I think I am live. Can anybody see me or hear me? Hello? Hello? I don't know if this is working. Let me see, it always takes a little bit. Oh yes, it is working. Yay! I see loads of messages coming in. It's always the same, right? Me going like, am I live? Yes, hi. Oh, there's a lot of people coming in. Oh, this is so nice to see. Okay, that is working. Now I just need to find a good way to see the chat, to see what all of you are saying. How does this work again? Oh, I'm such an amateur. Okay. I want to make this bigger. Chat. Bigger. Yes. Aha! Okay, we're getting there. I had to re-download this live stream software, so I had to start all over again, like it was my first time to do live chat. But okay. Okay, I'm seeing loads of messages coming in. This is good. I think I just need to, I don't know, somewhere I can put a delay because your messages are coming in super fast. And then I can't read anything almost. How did I do that again? I can't even remember how to do that. Anyway, let's just get into it. I think I'm even early. 3 minutes early. So nice to see that so many of you are here. And this is the first live chat I'm doing since I went back to, South America and now Central America. And I don't really do live chats so much anymore because, first of all, I've had a lot of really bad internet. But also I always find them a little bit nerve-wracking. I don't know why. But, last week I reached 1 million subscribers. We are 1 million strong. Can you believe it? Crazy. I would never have thought that would happen 3 years ago. So then I thought, get over it. Let's do a live chat and don't be nervous and just have a chat with all of you. Because I want to thank you for, going on this journey with me. And I just find it amazing that so many of you are joining from literally all over the world, which is just really amazing. And I just love that we have like this community here, which are mostly people writing nice things and supporting each other and saying nice things to each other. And it's also a way to connect with each other over, what we love, motorcycles, travel, adventure. So I think that's just really, really cool, really awesome. And to be able to use this platform in that way, I think is pretty incredible. So 1 million! Oh my god! Crazy. I'm just so glad that you're still here and still watching. Sometimes I do worry that bringing out 3 videos per week, I mean, it's a lot. And I mean, everybody has busy lives, all of you have busy lives. And to take out about an hour per week to watch my stuff, I find it amazing that so many of you are still watching and that you're not bored of me yet. I get bored of myself and my own videos. But I'm glad a lot of you are still enjoying it and still watching. And I just keep on doing my best to get better and better and make them better. Because there's still plenty of room for improvement with my videos. Every video that I make, I always think, this is not perfect. But I just don't have the time to fix every little mistake and make everything perfect. Because if I want to produce 3 videos per week, I just gotta release them, and mistake or not. Oh, thanks guys. Somebody's saying escapist 1080. We will never be bored of you. Thanks. Well, never say never. That moment might still be coming. But let's hope it won't come. Um, oh, oh. Vin Niff says, "How's Alaska?" Alaska's doing fine. She's doing really, really well. I'm still happy with Alaska. I will talk a little bit more about Alaska later because yesterday when I announced the live chat in the YouTube community thingy, I asked you to put some questions there. And I think I was just looking and like 400 questions or 400 comments were put there. So thank you so much for that. And I have to say there were some really good questions asked there this time. So I've made a little bit of a short list of questions that I'm trying to answer in this live chat. And in the meantime, like always, I'll try to also keep a look at the live chat, of course, and see what you guys are saying over there. Oh, thanks, David Jones, for some gas money. The gas prices, well, I don't have to tell you because everybody notices this, but prices are rising everywhere. Also here in this part of the world. Anyway, first I want to say a few things because when I saw the questions coming in, like often a lot of questions are kind of on the same topic. So I'll just address some of that just now because quite a lot of questions were about my plans through the USA, my possible routes that I might be taking, and also questions like from Kasumo who says, "Hi, what's the time lag between having an experience and posting the video?" That type of questions. So I'll just talk about that a little bit because as always, I cannot share my planned route. First of all, I don't really have a planned route. I mean, I'm struggling to figure out where exactly I'm going tomorrow. So honestly, I am not busy at all thinking about my route through Canada or my route through the United States. I mean, one country at a time. That's kind of, of course, I have a rough idea where I might go, but I just don't have the time to now think about or worry about where I might be in a few months, First, let's figure out where I'm going to be tomorrow. But yeah, for like this YouTube thing, I mean, 1 million subscribers is of course amazing, but it also means it's all getting quite big. So, I mean, for my own safety, it's a really terrible idea to announce online where I might be and when I might be there. That's just not so clever. So I won't do that. And secondly, also because I think a lot of people are super enthusiastic and want to ride with me. But of course, if you've followed me for a while, I really am a solo rider. Not because I don't have any friends. I have friends. But that's because that's the way I want to do this. And that's the way also how I manage to create all this content. I mean, for me, this is my work, right? So when I'm on a ride, I'm not just going for a ride and enjoying it. Of course, I am also enjoying it. But I'm constantly busy with turning this into a video. So I'm constantly busy with filmmaking, of course. So I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do, which is ride solo to Alaska. That's what I want to do. And, make all these videos if there's people trying to catch me. So to keep this a solo journey and for my own safety, I just can never say where I am at the moment or where I might be. And it's actually, it also has to do with like some things that already happened before. I've had now a few times that somehow people found out where I was staying and I would have people literally knocking on my bedroom door. And of course, I'm staying in guest houses. And at that time, that's my home, right? I mean, I don't own a house or anything like that. I live on the road. So the guest house that I'm staying in that moment, that bedroom, that's my home. So people knocking on that bedroom that I obviously don't know, even if it's with the best intentions. I don't know. Just imagine a total stranger knocking on your bedroom door saying, "Hi, I really want to meet you and ride with you." I struggle a little bit with that. Of course, I share a lot online, but yeah, it's also important to have some privacy and also feel safe and secure in the place where I'm staying, and I don't have to worry that somebody's barging into the bedroom type thing. So yeah, that's kind of I don't know. That's not actually wasn't the question, I think. But anyway, I'm straying off. I'm straying off the path. Uh, Pedro Martin says you don't have any help behind the scenes. No. A lot of people are saying that I must have a backup crew or I don't know what kind of people, because it's impossible that I do this all by myself. But I do this all by myself, and that is also the reason why, I do have to look out for my own safety, because I don't have a bodyguard. I don't have anyone here with me. I'm by myself. So, and I mean, I'm not really a scared person, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. But yeah, you have to be a little bit careful, especially sharing online stuff. So yeah, no, I am by myself. I mean, I have people helping me out, for example, with my shop. If you didn't know yet, I have a shop, itchyboots.store, where I sell like some merchandise. And of course, I need help with that, because there's no way that I can run all of that while also being on the road and producing and editing, and it's all too much. It's all too much. I also have help with my blogs, so I still bring out 2 blogs per month where I write stories, and I have somebody who helps me with that and makes the writing readable. That sort of thing. And I have somebody who helps me or who makes my thumbnails on YouTube for me, because I don't know Photoshop. So I have some help with that sort of thing. But the filming, the editing, being on the road, that's all me. So I do all of that by myself. So yeah, that's enough. It's a lot. When I started with a video every other day, remember? Back then, the videos were, of course, really short, like 5 minutes or something. And, the better I became with editing, the longer the videos became. But at some point, I had to step back to 3 videos per week. And it's kind of on the edge of what I'm able to do and get done. So to go back to the person who asked me about the time lag between having an experience and posting a video. So I also, besides keeping my current location hidden for the reasons that I mentioned before, I also try to, not disclose exactly how far it's behind, because from experience in the beginning, I was quite open about that. But then I've realized that people are trying to guess where I am, and people are looking for me. Sometimes I felt like some sort of fugitive, that I was like, I feel like I'm being hunted. So that's why I decided, I need to feel comfortable to be able to pull this off and to do this. So I don't want to say anymore how far my videos are behind. What I can say is that, I am still on this journey. So it's not like I film, 6 months and then I release the videos. So I am doing this while I am on the journey. I am still in Central America. And that's all I want to say about that. And I hope you can understand that as well. And also, it is impossible to be kind of live with videos anyway, because after filming, it takes me a lot of work to do the editing and to prepare the video, to have the thumbnail made, to do everything around it, to find good internet, to upload it. So to be able to really deliver Monday, Wednesday, Friday an episode, I need a little bit of a head time, because sometimes I don't have, like now I had a week of not good enough internet to upload videos. So it was good enough to do like small things, WhatsApp or like Instagram or something, but not to upload a video. So if my videos would be very close to where I am, then I would never be able to keep up with like scheduling. So anyway, I hope that answered that question with a very long story. Ducati Friedrich zegt, please stop riding with one hand on dirt roads. One nasty rock and you could be seriously injured. 2 hands on dirt. Yes, boss. No, to be honest, I don't do that so much anymore, riding with like the selfie stick, but I still also do it when I fly the drone. That's actually also a thing that no matter how many times I explain it, I will always get the question. So I'll explain it again. But also, so I do all the filming myself. So also drone flying. And I think, there's so much you can do with drones and with 360-degree cameras that make it look like it's impossible to do it yourself. But in fact, it's not really that hard. So I fly my drone riding with one hand and controlling the drone with my other hand. And yeah, it took some practice, but it works for me. And yeah, so I will keep riding with one hand sometimes on dirt roads. Sorry, but it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. There's even with two hands you can hit one rock and fall down. So yeah, some risks I'll take. Escapist 1080 says, we appreciate the consistent uploads, but please don't burn yourself out doing too many things at a time. Yeah, thank you. I know, but yeah, my own worst boss. I cannot give myself a break, and when I commit to something, I find it very hard to then turn around and say I can't actually do it. But I'm fine. I'm good. I'm feeling good still. So if I notice that I'm reaching like burnout type feelings, then I'll put a halt to it. That's what I did the last time when I was in South America for the first time. Then I went back to 3 videos per week because I noticed like it's too much. I am burning myself out. But so far I'm good. So, but thank you so much for your concern. Stefan Forrester says, guys, my CRF 250L is packed and ready to go traveling from UK. Anyone want a group? Reach out to Stefan Forrester. That's so cool. I like it, Please use my platform to also, meet up with fellow riders and, join each other on adventures. I really, really like that. That's just really cool. Adri Limata says, when are you coming to do a challenge in Brazil? I've had actually a lot of you are asking me about why I didn't go to Brazil and when I'm coming to Brazil. And yeah, the quick answer is I can't ride in every country at the same time. Of course, I have to make some choices. And this time, if you look at South America, you either have to circumnavigate it, which is pretty impossible given like some of the border situations in the northern part. So then you either have to do like, what's that, west coast, east coast. And I chose the west, so then I didn't go through Brazil. But it doesn't mean that I'll never go there. So, I've lived in Brazil for quite some time. I've worked in Brazil. I've been there many times. Never on a motorcycle. But one day, of course, I'm going to go there. But at the moment, I can only think of one trip at a time. So now it's all about, I am going to Alaska. And that's it. And oh yeah, somebody also asked me about, what was that again? I can't remember who asked me that, but what my plans are after Alaska. To be honest, I have no idea. I really don't know. I don't know. I've been thinking about it actually a little bit. But I cannot figure out really where I want to go after. So I decided that I'll see it when I get there. That's the best I can do, I think. And Rutvi Ratot says, India is calling, Noralie. Yeah, but I've already been to India also many times. So first, I want to see other countries before I go back to a country that I've already been several times. Sorry, I'm sure you understand. Okay, now loads of people are asking about which country. Okay, I'm gonna go to another question. Let me see. Oh, I prepared these questions and I'm thinking, which one do I want to answer? Okay. No, not that one. I want to go with one. Let me see now. It was one about About the bike. About my bike. Where did it go now? Sorry, I'm really looking now for this one question because it was a topic that I was like, oh yeah, I can actually say something about that. Oh yeah. Jaime, I think Jaime Rivera said, hello Noralie, your channel is becoming less about motorcycle riding and more about adventure, people and commentary. Is this so by design? Might this be part of the reason for your success, reaching people who might otherwise never had anything to do with motorcycles? And there was somebody else, Youssef Elatik, who said, hey Noralie, I still find season 1 and 4 the best, about the motorcycles. Genuine, spontaneous and a good combination of adventure and motorcycle. Now we just see adventure and no motorcycle. Is that what you focus on now? So I thought, okay, maybe I should say something about that. Because, no, there's not... No. There's not some kind of conscious, like, oh, now I'm going to do something else at all. But I think it just depends on the country where I am, kind of what content is going to come out. And of course, I don't know this up front either. I just only know when I'm actually in a place, what's going to happen, of course. And in some countries, for example, if you compare Nicaragua to Namibia, Namibia was pretty much empty of people. I almost met no people, and it was mostly desert. So for me, it was all about adventure riding, desert riding, nature. Whereas, for example, in Nicaragua, there's a lot more culture, there's different types of people, it's easier to meet people. There's just different types of things to do and to see there. So, and if you compare, for example, Nicaragua to United States, I mean, I think the adventures that I recently had in Nicaragua, like going down, into this gold mine or, sitting on a riverboat to meet the Rama people, that's not going to happen in the United States. So most likely there, it will be focused more again on the riding and the nature, So whatever is on my path, I will do. So yeah, of course, I mean, the main theme will always be motorcycle adventures because I get around on a motorcycle and I spend half my time I spend riding my motorcycle and the other half of my time I spend editing and working behind my computer to create all of this. So yeah, it's not, I think it just depends on the place where I am, kind of what's going to happen. But yeah, as I said before, I don't know this up front as well. And what I've also noticed in some countries, it's really easy to meet local people and they're really willing to talk to me. And in other countries, it's just harder to meet them or they're a bit more hesitant. So yeah, that also depends. And I think a lot of you always say more interaction with the locals. We want to see interaction with the locals. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. And I don't want to force anything, I don't want to kind of be stopping random people on the street to force a conversation out of them, which I then can film to be like, look at me interacting with people. So, and sometimes it just happens, sometimes it doesn't. And I think it's also good to ask yourself, like, how many times per week do you actually have a chat with a random stranger while filming it without making them feel uncomfortable? I mean, it just, I don't know about you, but for me, I mean, it just doesn't happen all the time, I think. So, yeah. Did that answer any of those questions? I hope it did. I'm pressing the wrong button. Chas Sisom says, as a rider myself, I like to hear a little update on the Honda 300. How many miles, kilometers have you ridden? How many tires? Average distance per gallon? Maintenance schedule? Pros and cons? That sort of information. I mean, not in every video I'm going to talk about my motorbike because, I mean, in the end, it's just a means to get around for me, So when there is something to say or something happening like maintenance or me changing tires, it's in the videos. So I'm sorry, but you have to watch every video. I am not going to make a video about, a dedicated video talking about this. You'll see it through the journey when I change tires or whatever. Those Heidenau K60s are very good tires that last a really long time, which are great for long distance travel. So yeah, that's why you don't see me changing tires all the time, because I have tires that last really long. For example, I got those in Ecuador still, About miles, kilometers, almost 10,000 on the bike. So that also indicates, it's a brand new bike, eh? So 10,000 kilometers is not so much. So I don't have to do maintenance every video. If there is maintenance, then you'll see it. The maintenance interval for this bike is 12,000 kilometers. So that's a really long interval, which is great, again, for long distance traveling. So yeah, when I'll do maintenance, you'll see it on the channel. Wait, what else did you ask about the thing? Average distance per gallon, I also mentioned it once. It's about 2.9 or 3 liters per 100 kilometers. So you'll have to convert it into gallons, because I don't know gallons and I don't know miles. And pros and cons. Yeah, maybe I should also say that, because more people have asked me about doing more reviews about the bike and why I am not talking about the bike and that sort of thing. I do talk about my bike, but I mostly do that on my blogs. So if you didn't know about that yet, on my website, itchyboots.com, I write blogs as well, and that's more where I talk about that stuff. I want to keep my YouTube channel focused on what I really like to make, and that's adventure motorcycle videos. And I've realized, I've done in the past, I've done some motorcycle review videos, with the Royal Enfield still. But I had to force myself making them, and I only made them because so many people were saying that I had to make them. But I don't enjoy making that type of content. I'm really sorry, but it's just not my thing. And of course, it's always good to know what you guys want to see. But in the end, okay, now this is going to turn into a little bit of YouTube advice, maybe, if you want to start your own YouTube channel. But I think as a YouTube creator, I think it's really important to make content that you enjoy making, that you love making. Because if you're trying to make things because you think that your audience might want to see that, you're going to attract audience that want to see that, but then you don't enjoy making that. Do you get what I mean? So, in my mind, this went very clear, but it's not coming out properly. But I think now I'm trying to make content or videos that I really enjoy making, and by that I think I create people around me that also enjoy that, and I think that's what you're supposed to be doing on YouTube, because otherwise you're going to force yourself to make even more stuff that you don't really enjoy making. And I'm just not a review type person. I just don't enjoy it. And there's a lot of people that are really good at that, So there's so many YouTube channels that are very good in this type of stuff. And that I watch myself as well, to get information or tips or whatever. So I rather focus on the things that I really enjoy making. Because I also think it's going to be better if you make what you enjoy making. Okay, is that clear? Yeah, that did not come out, but anyway. Let me see. Oh, Faris Al-Sahari says, can you show more accidents falling off compilations? No. I mean, what is this? Oh. I don't have any, to be honest. I don't have any secret compilations or things available. Yeah, I'm thinking now, but I haven't been falling off so much this season at all, to be honest. And yeah, no, I don't even have any clips of me falling off that I didn't show yet. So no, it's going well. So I think that's a good thing, right? Okay. I think I need to maybe change something in the settings. How does this work? Give me 1 second, because the chat is a bit difficult. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, anyway. Back. Okay. Pablo Andino Fiallo says, would you change your bike for the next trip? I haven't really thought about that yet, because I am focused on what I'm doing right now. When it comes to my motorcycle, this one has been the best one so far for me. Like, I am just so loving this motorcycle because it's so light, and I think that's the main thing, and it's reliable, and that maintenance interval is so long. So kind of those factors make this bike, for me, my best kind of travel partner so far. I'm really happy with my choice. I don't know yet how long I'm going to keep riding this bike. I have to admit, I'm a biker. So, of course, I am already dreaming about other motorcycles. Like, it would be maybe nice to ride this motorcycle. Maybe it would be nice to ride that motorcycle. Of course, because, this is our hobby, right? I don't think there's a lot of bikers that are not thinking about other bikes secretly, even if they're happy with their own. But I don't have any, specific plans or anything like that. I'm just really, living in the now, focusing on the now type thing. Ali Baruli, Norali, you look tired. Well, thanks. Okay, I think I'm going to go back to the questions asked before, because the live chat is going a little bit berserk. I should have changed something in the settings, but I don't know how to do that. I thought I put down something that you can't put, that the same person can't put too many comments in a row, but it's not working. So, okay, I'm just gonna go back to the questions that were asked before. I think that's better. Lou Burnett says, hi Norlie, thank you for sharing the world with those of us less able to travel for whatever reason. My question would be, what would you actually do if you didn't find accommodation? You do cut it fine sometimes, so I was wondering, do you carry any sort of outside sleeping kit? Thank you, and keep saying let's go. I don't think I'm cutting it fine. I always try to have enough, like several hours in the afternoon of daylight left. I try to stop riding like 2-3 in the afternoon usually, if I can. Depends, of course, a little bit on what's happening that day. But at the moment I'm not carrying around a sleeping kit whatsoever. So I either find accommodation or I literally sleep on the road without anything. So that last one is not an option. So but I always find something. I don't know. Yeah, it's not a problem. And especially because I have always several hours, time in the afternoon. So if I would not find something, I just ride 100 kilometers further if I have to. But normally it just doesn't happen. I always find something. Yeah, it's not a problem. And I guess especially now, there's still not a lot of tourism around in most places. Not a lot of people traveling. So there's always room pretty much. Like, it's almost never that stuff is like fully booked or booked out or anything like that. So I just never really have a problem. So that's good. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that. I'll always find something. Active slow, Matthäus Barbosa, active slow mode. Yeah, but the problem is I'm using this streaming software, and now I don't know how to do that, because you can do it in YouTube, but that's not working. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a super technical person when it comes to this type of stuff. This used to work before, but somehow the chat is now in the streaming software. Anyway, I don't know. Back to another question. Edulin Paseando says, question, watching your Crush compilation, I noticed you never curse. You try to avoid it for the videos or always do that? I mean, of course, I try to watch my language because I know that there's families watching and there's kids watching, and of course, I try to look at to think of that. But to be honest, with the falling, I'm not editing anything out. I apparently do not curse when that happens. And I thought it was an interesting question. It made me think about it a little bit as well. But I think the thing is, I think you need to be a little bit nice to yourself as well. And if you start cursing, basically you're just angry at yourself. And that is not going to help you in the situation. So I always just to try to be like, okay, I fell, it's okay. Let's get back up and let's get going, and just be nice to yourself. And I think cursing is really not going to help you at all. So maybe that's it as well. I don't know. But I'm always just fully focused on fix the situation. There's a problem, let's fix it. And move on. That's it. Sir Oracino, you will pass through Sonora Desert. I actually have no idea where that is. Probably not close to where I am now, so I haven't found that on the map yet. But I don't know. Same questions again. Russell Briscoe, have you have a team behind you? No. Well, I just talked about this, so please watch the live chat before back. If you missed the beginning, then the whole live chat thing will appear on my channel again. After it's finished, it automatically comes on my YouTube channel, so you can watch back from the beginning if you want. Okay. Paul Holmes, hi Norlie, your trips are really, really flying the flag for lightweight adventure bikes. The trips in the small boats with Alaska would have been almost impossible with the larger GS style bikes. Have you found any downsides yet with the smaller capacity bikes now you've had so many thousands of miles in the saddle? Keep up the excellent content. Thanks, Paul. The downsides, not really. I mean, I guess the only downside of riding a smaller capacity bike is maybe the feeling. If you're a biker, you will notice, and I understand, like a bigger bike with a bigger engine and like an awesome sound, it just makes your motorcycle heart beat a little faster, right? So that might be the only thing, but I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but I mean, Alaska, here in South America, in Central America, everybody finds her a big bike, Here, Alaska is a big bike, whether you like it or not. Because everybody rides around on 150, 200cc, like the little bikes. So I stand out with Alaska and everybody's like, big bike. So obviously that's going to change when I go to the States or Canada. But but other than that, it works so good for me. And, the main thing is just what I said before, it's the weight, and I, as you can see in my videos, I get myself into all kinds of situations where I have to, sometimes getting a motorcycle in and out of boat, I need help, and people help me with that. But there's also a lot of situations where I get stuck in mud or in sand or whatever, or I drop the bike, and I'm always the only person who has to get myself and the bike out of that situation. So in that sense, every time something like that happens, I'm like, oh, I am so happy I do not have a heavy bike, because that gets old really quickly, and you can pick it up once, you can pick it up twice, but number 3, it's gonna be very hard. No matter how strong you are, So, for me, light is the way to go. And, it's the way for me. And, if you do want to ride a big, heavy bike, then, it's everybody has to decide for themselves. And I can definitely see the appeal to that as well. But for me, this works better. Yeah, a lot of comments about my weight. I will not go into that. I don't think that's very relevant. Anyway, okay. Owner operator says, could you talk about how you handle daily maintainable on Alaska, fluid level checks, chain maintenance, etc.? Okay. You're probably gonna be all like, yeah, I do barely any of that. Sorry. I know there's you're supposed to check before you ride, you're supposed to check, the oil level and the fluid level and the chain and the tires. I don't have time for that. So if my tires look like they're not flat, they're good to go. If my chain looks like it's still on, I'm good to go. Yeah, I know, maybe this is really bad, but I just ride too much for that. That's my excuse. And I just keep on going. That's basically it. And I mean, chain maintenance, I have this semi-automatic chain oiler, which is that is really good. I'm really happy with that. So all I have to do is ride really slowly. I pull the thing one time and my chain is oiled. So I don't really have to worry about that so much. Just I need to remember to every now and then pull that thing, which still I tend to forget. But okay. Anyway. Okay, marriage proposals. Yeah, this live chat is really. See, this is what happens when you don't put the settings right. and I cannot change this, unfortunately. So it makes it a bit harder to now find like the nice comments. Anyway. Chris Friedrich says, I wonder if you were able to use your geology knowledge to make any suggestions to the gold miners to improve their prospects. Not really. I mean, that was such a different world from, I mean, where I worked in Australia in gold exploration. I mean, you cannot compare the two ways of working. Like, yeah, this worlds apart. So, to be honest, I think they were pretty knowledgeable, even though most of them, obviously, they don't have an education in it. But they seem to be knowing pretty much what they were looking for. But yeah, I did not even make any attempt to say anything. I just wanted to observe and see how they were doing things. A lot of people. I actually I did put a pinned comment on the last video because a lot of people did the math of like, yeah, so you have 125 grams of gold per week for 6 people, the gold price, so everybody's making $7,000 per week or something like that. Unfortunately, if it would be the case, I think they would still deserve it, but obviously that is not the math at all. And I mean, average salary, like what people make in Nicaragua as a worker, is between $5 and $10 per day. That's a normal wage. And in the video, I mean, I did mention, how much people were making to collect one bag and walk one bag with rocks down the mountain, and that's the type of money that the people make there. So, yeah, that was it made a lot of it made a big impression on me. And I had no idea that was going to happen. I did not see that coming because the only information I had was that there were abandoned gold mines, like tunnels that you could maybe walk through. So I thought, that sounds interesting. And yeah, I did not realize that since a year ago, they are actually actively mining there. So that came as a complete surprise to me and made a huge impression on me. Definitely. Okay. Josh Wilson says, Norley, do you just use the internet to find out what documents and licenses are required at the different borders? I find it difficult when I'm not from the place I am leaving. I mean, at the borders, like, every border is the same. So you need your motorcycle papers, the title of your motorcycle, Sometimes they ask for your driver license, you need your passport. That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. The only thing that changed now with after the pandemic is COVID rules. They change all the time. Test, no test, type of test, that changes a lot. And often there, you need to pre-register before you get to the border. You need to fill out an online health certificate, blah, blah thing. So that changes all the time. And so, yeah, for that, I just have to Google. Google will tell you everything. But the other, like the normal procedures to cross the border with a motorcycle, it's pretty much always the same. No, that's not true. It's pretty much always the same here in the Americas. Before in some countries in Africa and some countries in Asia, you need a carnet de passage, which I had before. But in this part of the world, you don't need that. Okay. Ferenc Tordai, can you share your daily routine? Well, I think that's in the videos. I have no idea what else to share about the daily routine. I mean, when I'm not writing, I'm just sitting working behind my laptop, and I don't think that's interesting to film myself working behind my laptop or editing or Googling stuff. So that's not going to be part of content because, that's not going to be interesting. Okay. Michael Strikos, are you satisfied so far with Alaska? Yeah, I talked about that. Do you think you should have done something differently with your setup? Actually, that also reminds me of another question about somebody kind of saying, like, I can't see the question now, but about if I would have done things differently. I never find it a relevant question because, when you look back in hindsight, yeah, of course you could have done things differently, but there's no point because you didn't know that at the time. So, I never really see the point in looking back and thinking, oh, I should have done that because, at the time you didn't know that, right? So I never have any regrets about choices that I make because I always feel like, okay, in that time with the information I had to make that choice and that's it, right? About Alaska, of course, as I wanted to do a suspension upgrade because especially the rear suspension, it's really soft. And I've known this since day one, since I did the test ride, basically. I've known like, okay, it's really soft. But when I left for Ecuador, I had no time, pretty much. I had no time to sort out a suspension upgrade. Mainly because, there are still super long supply chain problems. So to get the suspension, there was no time, basically. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go. My main priority was to get back on the road. So now I've been, of course, riding quite a bit. And yeah, my verdict is still the same. The suspension is really soft. And I am working on getting an upgrade to change the suspension. I'm working on that, but it's the same, like organizing something while on the road, while moving all the time. It's very difficult, but I'm working on it. And of course, I hope to be able to do that upgrade. That's probably, that's the main thing that I would do. One other thing that I would do on this motorcycle is, how to explain this? Okay, let me say it like this. There's a company in the UK, Rally Raid, and I've been friends with them for a while because they did the whole suspension upgrade on Ronin, my CB500X, and they make this accessory for Alaska, which is kind of a protection sticker. It's not really a sticker, I don't know how to call it. That kind of protects the frame where your motorcycle boots are kind of like on the side, on the pegs, if you know what I mean. And they told me about this, and they were like, we recommend you getting it. And I was like, yeah, no, whatever. No, I don't need that. But they were right. So now kind of where my boots are, I am scratching away the paint of the bike, and you get rust there. So that's the only thing that I'm like, I already told them actually, like, yeah, okay, maybe I should have listened. So, okay, maybe I do regret that then a little bit. Because now, yeah, I damaged the bike there a little bit. So yeah, I can recommend getting that. I'm sure that's gonna help. But yeah, to get any parts or things sent to me here while on the move all the time, it's almost impossible. We've tried, and it's almost impossible. And yeah, stuff doesn't arrive, or it's being held in customs, and it's very difficult. Okay. Louis Lalonde, will you ever come to Canada? Yes. It's on the way to Alaska, so I'll come through there, of course. Tage Lorder, Dakar Rally. Oh yeah, some people ask me more about Dakar stuff. Somebody else also asked me if my riding style changed after the Kalahari Rally. And it definitely did, especially in the beginning. But now I feel like I am riding a little bit more conservative again because, yeah, it's always a matter of a risk, right? And I take risk, but you always have to think, okay, I am alone here in some random mountain range, and I'd rather not crash or fall down the side of the mountain, because then I'm really into trouble, because there is no like rescue helicopter or other rally riders or anyone who's going to help me. So yeah, being in a rally, an organized rally, is very, very different from riding alone somewhere on the other side of the world. So yeah, I think I'm now riding a little bit more careful again, not to get myself into really like unnecessary stuff. Justin Kreslak, why do you have so much fear for even basic water crossings? The water crossings. It's very easy. I have fear for water crossings because if you drop your bike in deep enough water, you drown your engine. And I know that me by myself, I cannot fix that. I roughly know what to do. You have to change your spark plug, and you have to change your air filter, and you have to put the bike like this to drain all the water out, and blah, blah, blah. And then you have to change your oil. I know that if I am on my own, which I am always, but I mean, like, if there's nobody else around, so if I'm with a water crossing where there's not other people passing, and I drown my motorcycle there, I have serious issues. So I think everybody should fear water crossings a little bit, because they're a serious risk that you drown your bike. And especially some water crossings, like the ones in Costa Rica, for example, they turned around to be very easy because the rocks were kind of small and even. So then it's just like riding in kind of a normal gravel road with a little bit of water, no issue. But I've also crossed several rivers where you have big rocks, small rocks, and it's uneven and you can't see, right? So you cannot read the terrain. So that's why I always say it's like kind of like doing blind enduro. So you have no idea where you're going. And if you then hit one rock that you did not see and you drop your bike and it's drowned, then good luck, So that's also the reason why when it's a deeper water crossing with big rocks and an uneven terrain, I don't care how many people will say that I need to stand up the pegs and go super fast. I think that's the worst advice. I rather go then very slowly and make sure I do not drown my bike. So that's me having to defend how I go through rivers, And I think that's always, the theory is one thing, but reality is a very different thing. And I know the theory, I know all the tricks, I know how in theory you should do it. But in reality, I'm just on my own there with all my stuff on there, it's just not worth the risk. So I rather do it my own way, which is still a struggle, but I'm more confident that I'll make it to the other side without either drowning all my equipment or drowning my bike, than looking cool and drowning the bike. Because I don't know about you, but I have seen a lot of videos of people drowning bikes in rivers, and they are always with their friends, And then it's a great video and everybody's laughing and they sort it out. But for me, it's just a different, it's a really different situation. Okay, so that was that. Okay. Sur Orisinho Sonora is in northwest of Mexico. Okay. I don't know yet where I'm going to go in Mexico, so I'm not sure. Bob S. Have you considered adding a front-mounted winch better than branches under tires? Yeah, a winch on my motorcycle. I know that there's definitely are going to be situations in which that's helpful, surely. But wait, no. And I think that also falls in the category of I can't bring everything, and I really want to ride light. So the motorcycle has to be light and the luggage has to be light. And so that means that you can't bring everything. So there is going to be situations where you think, it would have been handy to have this, or it would have been handy to have that. But that also means that for months on end, you would have been dragging this item around without using it. And that's just not worth for me the weight. So you have to make choices. Either you ride a very top-heavy bike with top-loaded luggage and you struggle, or you ride a light bike with light luggage and then sometimes you think, yeah, would have been nice to have this, but then you just have to be more creative and find other ways. So, yeah. Thomas Dibbler, try running 10 miles on your bike with a broken foot to the hospital. I don't understand the comment. But anyway, yeah, that's not something that I would like to do exactly, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I see a lot of the same questions coming up again that I've already addressed earlier in the live chat. So again, please look it back. Otherwise, I'm keeping on replying to the same questions. Okay, maybe one other thing. Monique van Stichtans says, Noralie, I want to know what the boat trips cost, so we can have an insight of what the costs are. This is also I've already addressed this in other live chats, but I'll say it again if you have not seen that. But sometimes I mention what I pay for something, but mostly I don't, because I don't want to talk about money all the time. And this channel is not about how much money does Noralie spend every day. That's just not the purpose of the channel. So, and it's also, I think, it's not really helpful because prices change all the time. So, for example, the boat trips, with the increase in fuel recently worldwide, the prices that I paid are already completely outdated. That's just how it works, and with inflation as well. So unless you are one day behind me trying to know how much it costs, the information is actually not going to be helpful to almost anyone. So, and also like prices of accommodation, I always recommend, if you are trying to plan your own trip. I did write a blog at some point about how to budget a motorcycle trip like that. So, you can read that on my blog, itchyboots.com. But there I just talk about, okay, you need to think about, these are the kind of the items that will cost money, like fuel, accommodation, sometimes visa or that sort of thing. But all these things depend per person, and it depends on how far you're riding. Yeah, it depends on what the petrol prices are. So if you want current updated information, it's just better to look on, for example, booking.com for a country. You'll immediately get an idea of like, okay, a basic accommodation will cost round about this. And you can look up fuel prices online as well. So I also feel like you don't really need me for that. And it's just, I don't really want to talk about it all the time, and I just get, I think on social media, when I talk about that stuff, all I'm getting is like people either saying that I paid way too much or I didn't pay enough, and it's kind of, invites everybody to have an opinion about how I spend my money. And I just, I think in the end it's just also a little bit of a private matter. I don't know. I just don't like talking about that. It's not the purpose. It's not the purpose of this channel. This channel is not intended to show you how I spend my money, or how you should spend your money. That's just, if it's really an important thing to plan your own trip, then I just advise you to look it up online and get an idea, and you'll easily find that type of information. Okay. Next question. An user says, would you consider getting to Alaska and simply turning around and do it all again, back to the tip of Argentina? I bet there are few people ever lived to have done that. I think, probably not a lot of people would have done that, but no. That is not the plan. I think after Alaska, it's definitely time for something else or another part of the world. But as I mentioned before, I just don't know yet where. But no. Okay. Christian, hi. Did you have some art-related training? ART? I don't know what that means. Art? No, I don't think so. Jeepers Zero, what do you keep in your rucksack you always wear? Water. That's my camelback. So I'm able to drink water while riding. And there's a little, and I keep like my raincoat, for example, and like few other items, but not much. It's mainly for water. And I really like it. In the beginning, you need to get used to having weight on your shoulders. And I think after season 1, I didn't want to do that anymore. So I tried riding with a tank bag with my camelback in it. But then I decided that I want more room to store items in my tank bag, like camera equipment that I can easily grab. So then I changed back to a bigger tank bag for more storage, and the camelback with the water on my back. And I'm now so used to it, I feel kind of naked if I don't wear my backpack. And I just really love it. And especially in hot countries or like tropical countries where I'm riding now, you need to keep on drinking all the time. And I don't want to bring like bottles of water, because then all the time you have to keep your helmet off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And if there's one thing I dislike, is taking my helmet on and off all the time. I'd rather keep it on. And it's just so nice to, like, every 10 minutes I can just take a few sips of water while riding. So for me, that works perfectly, and I'm really happy with that setup. Yeah. Oh yeah, somebody else also asked me something about the clothing. Rashida February said, hey Noralie, a question on the gear you're wearing this season. How are you finding the layering arrangement compared to the standard ADV gear you wore in season 5? I love it! I never want to go back. To be honest, I really like it. It makes me feel a lot more, I can move better in it. I think like the ADV suits are a little stiffer, I think. I also like the looks of it. I think it looks better. It looks cooler. Yeah, I guess. I like the material. I'm really happy with it. So I'm hoping that Revit is going to extend the range of the Dirt series more, because I don't want to go back to anything else, really. I really like it. There we go. Christoph Gorosh. Hey Noralie, what about your fitness? What kind of sport do you practice to be fit on the bike? At the moment, my fitness level is not so good. It's really hard to exercise while being on the road all the time and working all the time. And, I cannot find gyms in any place that I go. And yeah, in some places you can't really go running on your own somewhere. So I used to do like HIIT workouts for a while, and I have to get back into it. But yeah, I guess like if I do a lot of like hardcore off-roading, it's also sport. Picking up a 150, 160 kilo motorcycle is also sport. But yeah, other than that, it's really difficult to exercise. Oh, thanks, Randy Covaro. You already look cool. Thanks, man. Uh, um, Drabit61, what boots do you recommend? I mean, I'm not a boots expert, and I've only worn two different. No, that's not true. In season 1, I had some different ones, but with the Revit boots, I've worn two different ones, and the ones that I currently have, I love them. They're the best for me, but I can't compare them with any other brands of boots because I never used those. So it's not really easy for me to say that because I don't really have anything to compare with. But the ones that I have now, I'm really happy with them. Yes, Zwei-spoor moped. I was going to say that you do sports all the time, riding off-road. Yeah, I also agree, I think. But I would like to do a little bit more cardio. That would be better because I am huffing and puffing quite a bit if it gets rough. Now, of course, in my defense, I mean, the microphone, which is inside my helmet, it's literally in front of my mouth. So, yeah, if my breathing gets just a little bit heavier, you're going to hear me like huffing, huffing and puffing. But okay, yeah, I could be a little bit fitter still. But hey, aren't we all? Ooh, magnificent. Top 3 countries so far for scenic riding. I always find these questions so hard because there have been so many places, so many countries. I find it, No, I can't answer it. I can't think now. My brain has gone to mush. I always find the live chat, it's hard. Okay, I've been going for an hour now. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping it up before I'm even talking more rubbish and my brain goes to more mush. This was one. Yes. Oh no, wait. I still have a couple of questions that I saved from what you sent me yesterday. David Turk says, questions. Do you find sporadic issues with the quality of the gas available? Like degraded gas, water in the gas. Did you install an inline fuel filter for just in case? It's actually a good question because I have used an inline filter in season 1. And I think, yes, I also had it in season 2. And after that I didn't do it anymore. There have been places where the fuel quality has been really bad. So far, it has all been in Central Asia, like Iran, Turkmenistan, like the stans there. That was quite bad. And that's why I got the inline fuel filter. The problem that I had with the inline fuel filter is that it slows down your fueling up. So you can't, when you're fueling up, it drains, it takes time to drain through the filter. And I just found it really annoying, So every time at every petrol station, every attendant is going to be like, oh, and then it takes really long. So that's actually the reason why I decided not to use it anymore. And it's also, it's a little difficult. So now I was like, I'm just going to wing it and let's see what happens. And I do believe, okay, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I do believe if you ride your bike all the time, it's not that much of an issue. It becomes more of an issue if your bike sits still for weeks on end with bad fuel in the tank. As far as I know, But since I ride so much, I didn't experience any issues. So I guess that's good. And then Torsty Tony said, Norali, how often does your stress level rise through the day? And what is the most common trigger? Okay, you probably did not see that coming, but I do get my stress levels rising. And you know why that happens sometimes during the day? Is when I feel like nothing interesting happened and I didn't film enough to create an episode. Yeah. So my anxiety is mainly based around filmmaking and worrying that an episode is going to be boring because nothing interesting happened. There was no nice scenery. I didn't meet anyone on the road. And then I feel like, oh no, how on earth am I going to turn this into an episode? because I mean the pressure is a little bit high sometimes to always deliver, always deliver, and every episode has to be amazing and interesting and wow, yeah. So that sometimes gives me some anxiety. But hey, compared, yeah. If that's the biggest problem, then I should not complain about it, right? Okay. Oh, never ever boring. Thanks. I really do my best. Okay, I think now a lot of the same questions. Okay, okay, the live chat is going a little bit berserk again. Let me see if I still have a nice question that I can answer. Okay, this is also maybe a nice one from Badirul Ismail. 2 questions. 1, how do you plan your route and places to visit? Do you spend much time planning or just have a basic plan and go from there? I'll first answer that one. I mean, yeah, how do I do that? I mean, there's a lot of research involved, right? So you can see in my videos often, I like to tell something about the place or, have some backstory, some history facts or, excuse me. So of course I have to research the place. So when I plan a route, I kind of try to see like, okay, maybe on the way I can visit this place, and then I do a lot of research about the place so I can say something about it. But often the plan changes during the day, or I see a dirt road and I'm like, let's go for that. And then actually the whole adventure happens there. So yeah, there's like some planning that I do to try and make interesting content. And the other part is just whatever happens on the road that I manage to capture on camera that will kind of tell the story, I guess. Okay, the second question was, if I were to go on a long bike ride, what would you say is the most important repair skill I need to acquire? I think that's a good one. I think we would all like to be mechanics and be able to fix everything. But I think you have to acknowledge that, first of all, you can't bring the tools with you to fix everything. So for a lot of things, you'll still need a workshop where they have tools to fix something. And I mean, I barely know anything, right? So I think the most important thing that I could recommend knowing is how to fix a flat tire. If you can fix your own flat tire, that's great skill to have. Other things, I mean, yeah, just speaking for myself, I don't really know much else, and I've managed. So I'm sure you managed as well. I think maybe I should also add, it also really depends on the type of bike that you're riding, because in the end, in these 3 years, I ride almost new motorcycles all the time. So the biggest mileage I've done on one single bike was only 36,000 kilometers, which is not a lot, So if you compare that, if your bike is, 20 years old and it has 200,000 kilometers on it, then you might run into some bigger problems that is going to be an issue for you if you're in the middle of nowhere. But I don't really fear that's going to happen to me because I ride much newer bikes that hopefully would not get that type of issues. Libertine 30, the obvious answer to what boots do you like should have been the itchy type. Yes. Thank you, Nadine. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. Sakaya Yamamoto, would you come to Japan? Yes, that's still the plan at some point. I don't know actually at the moment if you are already open for foreigners. I don't know about the current things, but Japan has been closed off for visitors for a really long time. Let me see. Okay, a lot of questions about destinations, but I don't know any of that. Thomas Joyce, do you keep a diary? No. Well, I keep a video diary. That's enough. Yeah, I don't have time to also then write stuff. The filming is enough. Is enough diary. Okay, there's also a lot of really personal questions. Ron Pfeiffer, how often do you contact your parents' family? I don't think that's any topic for this type of stuff. I think as I said before, I share a lot, but I also like to keep some things private, because why do you want why do you want to know that? Anyway. Piers Lawrence, worst meal this season. Oh, I have to think now. Oh, my memory is so bad. Did I eat something really terrible? I'm thinking now. Honestly, I cannot really think of anything now. I've had some greasy stuff, some unhealthy stuff. It is difficult to eat healthy while on the road all the time because I just got to eat kind of what's available, what's there, what I can find immediately. And that doesn't matter. That's almost everywhere in the world, maybe except Asia. There was maybe a bit easier. But Central America, it's a lot of carbs, it's a lot of rice, beans, tortillas. It's hard to find fresh vegetables and stuff. I never have a kitchen, so I never can cook myself or anything. So it's just sometimes hard to find slightly healthier food. I think I can't be so picky, and I'm not really. I think I just eat whatever is there, and then I'm like, okay, well, if it's not so great, I think, okay, maybe the next meal's better, but that's it's not a really big problem. John Scott said iguana. No, the iguana tasted really good. That was not a lie. It was that tasted good. John Ellis, have you had any close encounters with shady characters? Not really. Not anything that I can think of. No. Have you had any troubles? No. I don't know. And how that makes me sound like I have a really boring life. But I have plenty of troubles. But the troubles that I have, I will share them in the video. But those are more like logistical problems. And this season I've had a lot of issues with technical, computers and cameras, and everything seems to be breaking all the time. But those are not the issues that you're talking about, I think. Lady Godiva, any close encounters with wild animals? Not since Africa, really. No, I haven't seen snakes here. Have I? No. I saw a lot of snakes in South Africa, Namibia. I saw snakes. Nothing here so far. Maybe it's yet to come. But I think we are there. I hope I answered most of the questions. I always try to find some questions that I didn't already talk about, because otherwise every live chat is going to be the exact same copy of the previous one. Maybe I also underestimate the amount of questions that you have. It's so many questions. I always say I try to answer as many as I can, but it's a little bit, it becomes maybe a bit overwhelming sometimes. I think that's also sometimes I feel a bit overwhelmed with all the responses. I think YouTube sent me this overview thing, that in that last year, in 2021, I received 90,000 comments on YouTube alone. And I was thinking, oh man, I can't. It's too much. And yeah, every week I receive hundreds of emails, and so many people are trying to advise me on places to go, or places to stay, and it's almost like it would almost be a full-time job to just go through all of it and kind of research then the place and try to. It's sometimes or quite often I feel really overwhelmed with it, and that I'm like, I can't handle it. It is too much. It's really a lot to process all of that, and and I just don't have so much time for that, because I'm just editing and trying to keep everything running as well. So, but okay, all I can say, I really do my best. I do my best. Yeah. I think I'm gonna end the live chat, people. Thank you so much for being here, and for being on the journey. And I just want to thank everybody again for the support and for the really nice messages. And that means a lot. Especially, I promised myself not to talk about this time, but okay. I mean, the bigger it gets on YouTube, the more love you get, but also the hate is just kind of like increasing, and the hate mails I get, and death threats, that sort of thing coming in, is very hard to deal with. And unfortunately, those are the ones that kind of stick more. I don't know, I think that's just kind of how the human mind works or something. You can receive so much love, and then one person that hates your guts, that's kind of staying, So it is. So that's why I just want to say, like, it does. It is so great for me to see that there's a lot of people that really are so sweet and nice and enjoy my work, and that really makes me happy. And that has to be the motivation to keep on going, because if I give in to the haters, then they win, right? And that we shouldn't let that happen. So I need the support to think, okay, you are the people that I do this for, and that I work around the clock to make it happen. And that's just, I'm just really grateful for that, and that you're still here. And so what else? I hope you're going to enjoy tomorrow's episode. I think it's going to be a fun one with a lot of squealing, but like happy squealing. So don't miss that one. I think it's going to be a nice one. And I don't know if I'm going to do another live chat. Maybe, but not anytime soon. I think it's nice to just only do it for like special occasions like this one. I think that's nice. And maybe I should say, I actually wanted to say that in the beginning, but I forgot. But anyway, if your question was not answered here, then if it's about specific questions about filming or editing, then please check out my academy. I spend a lot of work developing 2 online courses explaining all of this. So your question will be answered there. Or check out my frequently asked questions on my website, the FAQ section, and hopefully it will all be answered there. All right, I'm going to end it. Thank you so much for being here, and take care. I hope you get to ride your motorcycle. The Northern Hemisphere, I think, is finally getting into springtime now, so hopefully the snow is gonna melt and everybody is be able to get out there on their motorcycles, go on your own adventures, film them, start a YouTube channel, and share it with everybody else. Be safe, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to end it. This is awkward. Stop streaming.